I trust him. Now,
We don't trust him.
4 minus 1.5. It's way too big.
Yeah, that's
Let's go with you instead. 4 take away 1.5. The thing you need to understand is that really I already have the common denominator I need because 4 is a whole number. I could easily have changed this to 4 and something over 2. What is that something? How many parts of an additional pizza do I have?
Half.
Well, think about it. I have 4 holes. Was there a fraction with it? No. So how many extra slices do I have?
2. 4. 9.
I'm going to draw this right here. Maybe this will help. So 4. If I wanted to represent 4, I would draw it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I wanted to represent 1.5, I would draw it like this. 1.5. And part of it's missing. Now, this is what I call extras. Because they don't make a whole pizza, but they don't not exist. Like it's something I have to count. So I'd call that extras. How many extras do I have in the top up here?
0.
That's what I wanted. 0. I have 0 extras. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Normally I would never show 0 over 2 because it's 0. It's a meaningless number. But in this case, now I have common denominators. I can subtract the way I would normally subtract. Deal with fractions first. 0 over 2, take away 1 over 2. What's going to be the issue?
0 is smaller.
0 is smaller. So now I'm going to borrow. I'm going to take one of these 4s. I'm going to change it to a 3. And then I'm going to change that 0 to something else. What's it going to change to?
10.
No. It's not just regular subtracting.
5.
Remember, okay, instead of just yelling out numbers, I want to think for a second. I have these pizzas, right? A whole pizza is 2 slices. I took a pizza, and instead of considering it one whole pizza, I'm now just considering it a certain number of slices. How many slices is that? 2. Whatever the bottom number is, that's what one whole is. You need it. That is a foundational thing of fractions you need to understand. That if I have 1.5, what I really have is 1 whole pizza and 1 out of 2 slices of another pizza. Or in other words, I have 1 slice, 2 slice for the first one, and then only 1 slice for the second. However you want to view it. But now that 0 over 2 is going to change to a 2 over 2. So I'm going to call that 2 over 2 now. Does that make sense? So instead of 4 and none over 2, I'm going to consider it 3 whole pizzas and then 2 extra slices. So now,
That's basically 4.
it is exactly 4. It is still 4. 3 and 2 over 2 is still 4. It's just a different way of writing it, which makes it easier for me to do this subtraction. So now it's easy. What's 2 over 2 take away 1 over 2? What's 2 halves take away 1 of those halves?
1 half.
1/2. So that's my fractions part being dealt with. Now I just have to worry about my whole numbers. What are my whole numbers?
3.
Go. 3 and?
And a half.
No, just worry about the whole numbers. 3,
1.
Julia, take away 1 is 2. So now that's my answer. Put those together, 2.5. Does that make sense? Most of you are struggling with, if I take a whole and regroup it into my fraction, how many am I putting on top? The answer is whatever's on the bottom. Because I need you to understand that, like, if I'm taking one whole and I'm converting it, if the bottom was 3, I'm adding 3 more. If the bottom was 4, I'm adding 4 more. If the bottom was 5, I'm adding 5 more. If the bottom was 37, I'm adding 37 more. It doesn't make it, that's, all of these are the same number, which is 1. One whole thing. 3 slices out of 3, that's a whole pizza. 4 slices out of 4, that's a whole pizza. 37 out of 37, that's a whole pizza still. The only difference is, if I'm subtracting, sometimes I have to go into one of my whole pizzas to subtract it all. Make sense? Give it a shot. Try the rest of these questions. We'll see how it goes. We'll take them up a little bit later.